The opinions expressed in the following program are solely those of the host. The following program may contain coarse language and is intended for an adult audience. Listener discretion is strongly advised.
Welcome to Climax Radio, the home of new music, hidden gems, and great talk to start your day with a bang. Spice up your long and boring commutes to and from work. Get excited again. Listen to Climax Radio in your car, on the bus, or riding the rails. And now, the hosts of Climax Radio, Magnum and Radio Free G.
One more time for Mission Control. This is Climax Radio. One of your hosts, myself, Radio Free G, along with
Mr. Magnum here,
and we are bringing you Climax Show number 4. It just seems like we keep pumping them out, and it gets easier to do all the time.
Yes.
I understand this time we have 2 listener requests.
Yes. The response was just overwhelming, and we decided to get 2 on board today, just to clear them up because we're kind of like backlogged.
Yeah, I know we said we were going to stick to 1.
Yeah.
But it's not just the quantity, but the quality of the stuff that's coming through from the listeners.
Right.
I mean, I wouldn't mind doing an entire request show at some point later on in the future.
Right.
But if people, it seems like they're really taking to what we're doing.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And I'm more than happy to put their requests on the air.
Of course.
Wait, is that... I think I hear your phone. So tell me, did you climax? You love the show. You hate the show. Make your opinion count. Call Climax Phone, toll free from anywhere in North America. 1-888-49-I-CAME. That's 1-888-494-2263. Tell us what you think about the music we play. Tell us what we should play. Tell us if you came. 1-888-49-I-CAME. Always a happy ending. Compliments of Climax Radio. And that, ladies and gentlemen, the Climax line, up and running. We put it at the end of the last show because we were just trying to get all the bugs worked out. But now it is up, running, ready, and raring to go. And I decided to put this one in because, a lot of people, they download our show. And from the people that I have personal feedback with, they say usually they listen to it in their vehicles, back and forth. But they instead listen to, say, a third of the show. Then they pop it in on the way home. Or, whenever they feel like they're just sick to death of the radio in their car. Some other people, they listen to it when they're out running or something, so they don't necessarily have their computer with them. But everyone's always got a phone sitting with them. Everyone always has some form of personal communication. So that's why we give you the Climax line. It's another way to get in touch with us. 1-888-49-I-CAME or 1-888-494-2263. You call, you leave a message. You can even submit your songs. Well, you can submit the songs you want us to play. Just give us the title, the band, or even send us on a hunt. We'll comb all the used CD stores. We'll look online. We'll check, and we can find the song that you want us to play for you.
Yeah.
I don't mind during one of the previous episodes that we had, Mr. Magnum, you mentioned something called a blind buy, and I never heard it quite put that way.
Mm-hmm.
But that's when, you go into the CD store of your choice, and you just hunt around and you say, oh, that seems like it has a nice title.
Mm-hmm.
You pick it up and bring it home.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind doing that with people submitting song titles to us. I mean, I'll just go to the store. If I can find it, if I can find the CD cheap, I'll just pick it up and buy it.
Right. Yes.
So, now that the administration is done and out of the way,
yes,
Mr. Magnum, tell us the songs that you have for us today.
Okay. Let's see. I'm looking at my list here. It's actually some... I got two covers today.
I apologize if that I apologize if that slurping came through on the microphone, but I need to keep myself hydrated for the show.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything. I didn't notice, but
go ahead.
Maybe the listenership will.
Go ahead.
Okay, so my first comes from Rush, and I chose Mr. Soul from Neil Young. Or was it Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young?
That I'm not sure about.
Yeah. Anyway, they covered Mr. Soul. It comes from a CD called Feedback.
That's their covers disc.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah. Have you have your copy or?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. It's great. It's good stuff.
I felt the lead single that they put off from that CD was a little bit weak, but the rest of the CD makes up for it.
Yeah. What was the lead single?
Let me just see that package there. I'll be able to tell you. Summertime Blues. I believe that was the lead single that they put off from that one.
Oh, really?
You know what? Didn't really do anything for me.
Yeah.
But the rest of the CD really.
The rest of the CD was good.
Yeah, the rest of the CD sticks up.
It's good. They did a good job. The next track is from the Jeff Healey band.
Jeff Healey.
Yeah. Yeah. Who doesn't like Jeff Healey?
You ever been to his bar, Healey's?
Not yet. Have you?
No.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever will. I just want to know if anyone I know who's gone.
He plays himself.
Yeah, I mean he shows up. Apparently he puts on a great show. I've just never had occasion to go there. I've driven past the place a million times. Just never had the occasion to go in.
Right. Well, hopefully we'll get to hit that place. Anyway, the track I chose from their CD called Cover to Cover, which is another CD of cover tunes, is Shapes of Things. It just kicks this CD off really, really well. Who wrote that song? I couldn't tell you, because I never heard that song before.
Oh, you never heard this song before?
I never heard this song. It's in the original version.
So, okay, so you don't know who the original artist was?
No. And I heard it here first. Like I heard it off the CD first. This song, right? But there's other songs here that you'll know. Oh yeah. Obviously, like Communication Breakdown, they've covered, and Eric Clapton's Badge, and Angel from Jimi Hendrix. So those are just a few of the tracks that they covered on this CD.
Does it say Eric Clapton or does it say Cream in there for Badge?
Actually, it says Clapton and George Harrison.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, that's news. That's news to me because I thought that was a Cream song. Oh,
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, there you go. Let's see what else is in my pile here. Okay, we brushed upon Bon Jovi, and remember what I told? Remember I told you that he wrote the songs for the Young Guns 2 soundtrack.
You filled me in that it was not just one song,
but he wrote.
But he was inspired.
He was inspired
during our Phil Collins
yeah.
Q&A that we had for the end of the last episode.
That's right. That's right.
Also sparked off by a listener request.
Yes.
So,
so the CD he written and performed by John Bon Jovi. The CD is Blaze of Glory. And it also says here, inspired by the film Young Guns 2.
So is that the Young Guns 2 soundtrack?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Did he do the first one?
No. The first movie?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, so he was just around for Young Guns 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
He had a role in it in the movie too. I don't know if you recall.
You know what? It was on TV recently,
Oh.
and I didn't get a chance to see it.
I think he was the one of the criminals who escaped from his little pit in the hole in the ground, and he got shot right away. So he had like 3 minutes.
You know what? That's more movies than I've been in.
Yeah.
That I know of.
So the track of this, yeah. So the track off this one is the title track, Blaze of Glory. This is the one I will be playing for our listeners today. Now I also got, this is going to be good. Rock band 30 Degrees is going to be premiering on our show. And this track has been taken from their 96 basement sessions.
30 Degrees.
Yes. Don't ask me who they are. All I know is that they put on this hit. They released this CD only to their friends and family.
Now you are truly surprising me.
And
just so everyone knows, I am not part of 30 Degrees band. I don't know anyone who is. As I've stated many times before, I have no musical talent, so don't think that I'm just trying to push one of my bands onto people through Mr. Magnum. That is 100% false.
Right. So
where did you get this? You said it was only released to friends of. Oh, you found it.
I found it. Yes.
So you've had this for a while, just kicking around or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Yes.
You know what? I can understand, because when the time comes for me to pack up all my shit and move,
you'll never know what you'll find.
Who knows what you're gonna find? And I can't wait to see the amount of shitty CDs that I went out and bought. I just can't wait.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So the track from here, they were really known for their cover of Wild Thing by the Trogs, I believe it was.
Trogs, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So they did a cover of that. Now, they're just instrumental band. They didn't have a lead vocalist.
So this is just a pure
So
music,
just
music track.
3 minutes of music
Okay,
from 30
sounds
degrees.
good. I can't wait.
30 degrees.
I can't wait to hear it.
Great. And I also have our first listener request who's emailed his request. His name is Marco Kadonic. So that's our first listener request of the show that I'm mentioning to the audience. And his submission was the Mellygrove Band. Now I did download one track of the Mellygrove Band and they sounded great. And
How do you spell that?
MELIGROVE band.com.
Mellygrove Band. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm just trying to look it up here because I've never heard of these performers.
Neither have I. Neither have I.
I'm sure we'll have a link up on the website
Yes,
when we
we
post
will.
the show.
Yeah.
Just for now, so I can hear a little bit or learn a little bit about these people.
Yeah, I think I clicked on. I think it was their first track, Monkey Mask, that you'll notice on their website. I think
Okay.
it was that. But it was good. It was good. I was impressed.
No problem.
Anyway,
Did he give you any history, like how he
he
came
did
to
not
know
give
about
me
this?
any history. I have to dig it up myself.
Well, I'm surprised. Usually people will tell you how they... I mean,
Yeah.
anyone who gets in touch with us through email or calls the Climax line, I mean, tell us a little bit about the band and what the band and the song means to you. I mean, we're not just here to spin tracks.
Yeah,
we're here
right.
to give a little bit more than that, since
Yeah.
we have the freedom offered to us through the whole podcasting, internet radio type thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's give people a little bit more. We're not
Yeah,
under
like, I would
time
like to know-
constraints, and we don't have to give traffic and weather on the ones. So let's open that up a little bit.
Yeah, they should tell us how they found the band.
Something,
and,
a
yeah.
little. I mean, they don't have to send us a bio or anything, but
Mm-hmm.
a little something.
But they are a Toronto band, and they were on CBC Radio 3, which is on Satellite Radio and CBC Radio 3 podcast. But let's not plug them. We have
Yeah.
our own podcast.
Exactly. CBC doesn't need our help.
No. But I will dig up some information when I play their tracks. So there's my list.
My list. Well, for the members of the listenership that listened to episode 3, I said that we seem to be playing a disproportionate amount of music that could be termed country and western. And I said that I was going to have a country-themed pick soon, and I remember Mr. Magnum chuckling quietly to himself in the corner, thinking that I would never do it, and reveal my, I guess, growing love for the genre. But I have a full slate of country music songs.
Right.
However, since we're doing this on Climax Radio, there's a little bit of a twist. These are artists that, some of them are standard bearers for country and western music. Some of them are either brand new to the genre or didn't know that they were making country music. And some of them you just wouldn't even think that they would ever be associated with anything country.
Mm.
So I have a list of 5. Of course, for the obvious stuff, I'm going to be playing a track by Johnny Cash called Man in Black.
Mm-hmm.
That goes without saying.
Mm-hmm.
I will do my best to put Johnny Cash on whenever I have an excuse to play him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be playing a song from Metallica called Mama Said,
Oh.
that most people, even fans of Metallica, they may not know about this song or recognize it, but there's a strong connection between Metallica, they are the forerunners of speed metal. They're the ones that brought the heavier side of music to the popular consciousness and allowed stuff like grunge to happen.
Right.
Their connection with country music is long and quite interesting when you get into who they are friends with in the industry.
Right.
But I'll leave that for when I start going into the band itself. I have a song called Little Ol' Wine Drinker Me from Dean Martin. Of course, this was in his country phase, so he's Dean Tex Martin.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I have a song from The Byrds, Blue Canadian Rockies.
The Birds.
The Byrds.
BYRDS.
BYRDS, yes.
Blue Canadian Rockies.
Blue Canadian Rockies.
Oh, all right.
And listener submission, Stompin' Tom Connors, Sudbury Saturday Night.
And who submitted that submission?
That's from Soundwave.
Soundwave.
Soundwave, and he is he's looking for an excuse to submit some Weird Al. I don't know if we're ever gonna play Weird Al on this radio show, but we'll see. I mean, he has put out. The guy's been in the business for 20 years or something. He's got to have a song that fits some of the. Maybe one day we'll do like movie music or something, and we can get his Transformers theme.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you
Well,
never know.
Soundwave isn't Climax Radio Show fan number one, so it's not like we'll throw any of his stuff on, like Climax Radio Show fan number one.
Exactly. He does submit some. He does submit some good stuff.
Yeah.
So I mean, I've already got some submissions lined up for the next show. I don't think there's going to be a theme, so I'm just going to bring
Yes.
anything and everything to the table next time.
Right.
But that is my lineup. And very quickly before we go, on one of the previous episodes, I said that there was a Guns N' Roses song that fans made a tribute video for. A brand new Guns N' Roses song supposed to come off of Chinese Democracy. I said I would get the name. The name of that song, if you can hunt for it on the internet, is called "There Was a Time."
Okay. And that's a brand new song.
Well, it's a new song. I mean, you can find copies in air quotes of the new Guns N' Roses CD.
Is it ready? Like, is it out? Because I heard.
Well, I'll tell you this: I made my own mix of songs that are supposed to come off that CD, and I have about 15 or 16 songs that sound like they were recorded in the studio. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know what that guy's waiting for. Just hurry up and put it out, because if it's half as good as the stuff that I've listened to myself, it's amazing. And this song, There Was a Time, it's about 7 minutes long, and it's worth the wait.
No.
Fantastic
I'm
stuff.
going to have to look for that then.
Yes, I encourage everyone to go out, check it out, because if he won't submit it to you to let you buy it, go out and find it.
Yeah.
Okay, enough of that. Let's
Okay.
get to the first song.
All right.
So,
who should go first?
I don't know. How do you wanna do this?
I don't think it matters.
You don't think it matters?
No.
Okay, then how about okay, so let's get to our first song. And Mr. Magnum, if you don't mind, I guess since we both have 5, I'll start off. That way you can finish us off at the end.
Okay.
For the first song that I would like to play, I would like to play the song from the Byrds, Blue Canadian Rockies.
All right.
For those that don't know, the Byrds was pretty much a collection that had a rotating membership of hippie heavyweights all the way throughout the 60s and 70s.
Mm-hmm.
Blue Canadian Rockies is actually a cover song by the Byrds, and it's a Canadian song. The Canadian artists associated with this song, their names are Wilf Carter and Hank Snow. These are old-style country folk ballad tradition type of songs. I wasn't able to find the original from the original artists.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been really great to put on here. I wouldn't once I heard this song, I would not have minded playing both. Because it really gets to you. The song was released in about middle of 1968. It came off the Byrds' 7th album. The whole CD was covers. It came off of a CD called Sweetheart of the Rodeo. That CD, or record at the time, that set the stage for most of the country music that you hear today when people want to make fun of country music.
Oh, really?
Yes, because they started... Nobody was really doing this at this time, and the Byrds were a phenomenal vocal group, kind of laid back hippie type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Then they switched gears, and this is thought of by many to be their last truly influential album. They had some band members leave after this, went off to form other bands, but I'll give you a little bit of that at the end. The CD was a commercial flop. Nobody really liked it. It turned out to be too far ahead of its time because musicians at the time flocked towards it. And the whole country twang that came about in the 70s, you can go back and you can relate it directly to the Sweetheart of the Rodeo CD. So I think I'm going to play it now, and I'll just give you a little bit of... I'll sum up after the song is over.
Okay.
So here comes the Byrds, Blue Canadian Rockies, from the Sweetheart of the Rodeo CD, released in 1968.
In the blue Canadian Rockies, spring is silent through the trees, and the golden poppies are blooming round the banks of Lake Louise. Now, oh, how my lonely heart is aching tonight for that girl I left behind. And oh, what I'd give if I could be there tonight with a sweetheart who's waiting for me. In the blue Canadian Rockies, spring is silent through and the golden poppies are blooming round the banks of Lake Louise. Across the sea they call me, and on a love so true. For the blue Canadian Rockies, and the one I love to see, and the one I love to see.
Now, anyone who listens to that can immediately picture in their minds something like that streaming from any type of honky-tonk bar
Yep.
south of the Mason-Dixon.
Yes, definitely. Definitely.
And they really were the only ones that came and brought that music back. When everything started changing radically, when the 60s became the 70s, everyone was getting all electric and synthesizers and stuff like that. They swung the pendulum all the way back the other way.
Mm-hmm.
The Byrds in their day, they truly were a visionary group.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone could sing, everybody could write, everybody could play some sort of instrument. There was not 1 ounce of wasted talent for them. As I said, this was their last shot of influence with this particular CD on a mainstream scale. The big single off of this album was supposed to be You Ain't Going Nowhere, which was actually written by Bob Dylan. And everyone knows about the relationship that the Byrds had with Bob Dylan. They covered a lot of his songs. So, of course, we played it safe and we played you something else.
Yeah.
And this one here, I don't know. I heard this song. I've always wanted to go out and visit the Canadian Rockies. I hear a song like this, which is truly a Canadian song. As I mentioned, some of the artists before that are associated with it, Wolf Carter and Hank Snow, it just seemed to fit perfectly.
Yeah.
I don't know. Every time I hear this song, it just gives me a little warm glow. I like it.
Yeah, I liked it. Had my pint of warm beer, eating peanuts. At the saloon down south.
Yeah. For those that don't know, there's a bar in our neck of the woods called the Salty Dog Saloon.
Have you been there?
I haven't been, but I can picture myself walking in to the Salty Dog and hearing this song streaming out.
Yeah, but I hear they have amazing wings and good food.
That's what they are famous for.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been in to see what the clientele looks like.
I know. That's what I'm worried about. But I know people who've been there, and they're like, it's not a big deal.
But are they people like you, or do you
Yeah.
have to go there on a certain night?
No.
Does it swing the other way on Wednesdays or something? Or
people like us.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if they have good wings, I'm there.
Yeah.
I like them.
Definitely worth going.
So that's the end of my first song.
Okay.
Tell me about your first.
Okay, my first song is a cover tune by Canadian supergroup Rush, right? And I say supergroup because, I mean, who doesn't know Rush? I mean, if you don't know...
I would actually take issue with calling them a supergroup.
Oh, why?
Well, because supergroup, doesn't that mean like the individual people all came from somewhere else?
Well,
because Rush has always been Rush.
Yes.
30 years, 35 years.
I call it supergroup because they can still... They've been together for more than 30 years, and they can sell out stadiums.
They can still go on, put on their Evening with Rush shows, play for 3 hours, and leave everyone breathless.
Yeah.
I don't know. See,
I don't think there's bands out there that can sell out stadiums night after, like, in a row, except U2.
See, I wouldn't call them a supergroup simply because they're not famous from other stuff. Like, they're famous from Rush, and I'm not saying that like that's a put down.
Yeah, no.
Right?
I see what you're saying. Your definition of supergroup is one way than my way.
Mm-hmm. But I do agree with you in that they are a great band.
Yeah. So if anyone out there hasn't heard of Rush, you know what to do. Turn this podcast off. But
it's a very select few bands that we say that for.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So
go out, find them.
Rush is known all over the world, so I don't have to give the rundown on the members of the band and all that. I mean, they've been together since 1968
Neil Peart,
till
Alex
now.
Lifeson, Geddy Lee.
Yeah.
Just for those of you that don't know.
Just in
You know,
case.
because I mean, you got to start somewhere. So maybe you type one of those names in to your browser, and then you go and find them.
Yeah,
Which you should if you haven't, because yes, they've taken a little bit of a break in the past 5-6 years, but
Yeah.
that's because they've gone through a ton of stuff.
yes, yeah.
They've
Personally,
had personally and professionally, they've had a lot of crises.
yeah,
But they're back now.
they're back, and they just released an album this year, Snakes and Arrows.
Snakes and Arrows. Yep.
Yeah. So, anyways, on to the song. So the the CD here is called Feedback, and like I mentioned at the beginning of the show, I've chosen Mr. Soul. It's a Neil Young song, and I love the tune. At work, one of the old guys at work tunes into, I think it's 1050 Chum,
Yes.
right? So I think every 2 days, Mr. Soul comes out on the radio. They play it.
Does 1050 Chum still do Elvis Tuesdays?
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, I think it's Elvis Lunch Hour, not just Tuesday.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go
I'm
ahead.
pretty sure I know, or I'm sorry. Every lunch hour, it's the Beatles.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
They're not the first station
Yeah.
to do that.
But anyways,
I'll tune out when that happens.
so let's move on. Okay, I'm just gonna play this track here, Mr. Soul, originally written and performed by Neil Young, and now covered by Rush.
Well, hello, Mr. Soul. I just dropped by to pick up the reason
Mr. Soul. Love that track.
I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's Rush. It's hard for them to put out stuff that I don't like.
Yeah. Well, okay, yeah, it is Rush playing it, and it's a Neil Young. It's a Neil Young track, and I mean, even he does a fantastic job.
I'm slowly getting more and more into Neil Young now.
Yeah.
Ever since he came back, I think he had an aneurysm, I believe, or something like that.
I know he had surgery.
He
I don't know
had-
if it was aneurysm or.
Yeah, I'm not sure
But
what
that
he
was a
had.
while ago, though.
Yeah, he had something like that. He came out. He's put out he put out a CD of new music, like protest songs or whatever. And they are releasing some of his older in concert material. There's a there's a show from the 70s he did at Massey Hall in Toronto.
Right.
And it was supposed to be the big launch of a whole bunch of songs. They put that out, slowly starting to get more into him, learning a little bit of the history. I mean,
Yeah.
when I was first getting into music, he wasn't really that big of a force.
Right.
So he was kind of by the wayside, and I didn't have something like Climax Radio to expose me to him.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Oh, I do.
So yeah, it's as I'm going back now, like even some of the guys that came before him, like Gordon Lightfoot, I'm really starting to get into him too.
Oh yeah, Gordon Lightfoot.
I
did
know
the Edmund Fitzgerald.
he did the Edmund
That was a good
Fitzgerald. He's done. It's actually surprising once you go to one of his greatest hits packages how many songs you recognize
Yeah.
from people covering them. Not that you've even heard his song.
Yeah. Other people doing it.
Other people covering, and
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Mhm.
He is a Canadian songwriting gem,
Yeah, he is.
much like Rush
Neil
is.
Young. Oh, I'm sorry.
You
I'm
know?
sorry. And Rush.
The only stuff that I really don't like from Rush is oddly enough, it's a lot of their earlier stuff.
Oh, they're progressive.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
because when they start really rocking like RAWK rock,
Yeah.
they're amazing.
Yeah. Oh man. I tell you, I popped in one of their DVDs. Russian Rio.
Rio. Is that the big festival they do every year where there's like 300,000 people or something
this
like
was
that?
their own tour. They
Oh, this
toured
was their
South
own tour.
America,
Oh, okay.
And unbelievable. The DVD was amazing. Just fantastic. The energy in the state. Like they sold out and you know how big stadiums are down in other apart from North America.
Oh, the soccer stadiums.
The soccer stadiums in South America, they're massive, and they pack them.
They're gigantic and they don't even have seats.
Right.
There is no such thing as you go there. Oh, A35. I'm sorry. I think you're in my seat. Fuck that, man. You show up. If you're late, you're late. You're sitting up at the top. You're sitting at the roof.
Seating places, really?
Yeah.
I'd figure on the field because they're all just standing.
No, they're remember like that whole festival seating type thing. That's just the way they do it. I'm sure they want to change that just from a safety aspect.
Yeah.
But that's part of the reason how a lot of those rides get started because there's no order.
No, I know.
Your ticket gets you in the building and that's it.
Yeah.
And then for Rush to sell those things out after they're 30, 35 years going and chugging and they're still putting out new stuff, they're not resting on their laurels.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay, my man.
Okay, I am up now, and the song I want to play right now is the Dean Martin song,
All right.
Little Old Wine Drinker Me. This is almost a spoof song. There's certain points in musical history where people just start coming out with stuff because that's the thing to come out with. When disco came out, you even had bands like Kiss putting out disco records. When country was the big thing, everyone started putting out a country record. That's just the way things work, right?
Right.
Dean Martin, he was, at the end of his career when this stuff came out, but country was the big thing.
Yeah.
And by this point in time, he was already a big enough star that no matter what he did, he could never tarnish the accomplishments that he, both in music, movies, I mean, anything really. The guy was Mr. Entertainment at one point.
Yes.
So nothing could really take away from whatever he had accomplished. This, you can even, I think you can hear it in his voice. He just has, a little bit of fun with it. It's a whole CD he put out of country type things. But I will, when the song is over, we're going to strap on our musical education hats, and I'm going to just give people a little bit of background into why Dean Martin was so good at doing what he did.
Okay.
So this is Dean Tex Martin, Little Old Wine Drinker Me.
I'm praying
Tex Martin.
for rain in California. so the grapes can grow and they can make more wine. And I'm sitting in a honky in Chicago with a broken heart and a woman on my mind. I matched the man behind the bar for the jukebox, and the music takes me back to Tennessee. When they ask who's the fool in the corner crying, I say, a little old wine drinker me. I came here last week from down in Nashville, 'cause my baby left for Florida on a train. I thought I'd get a job and just forget her, but in Chicago a broken heart is still the same. I matched the man behind the bar for the jukebox, and the music takes me back to Tennessee. When they ask who's the fool in the corner crying, I say, a little old wine drinker me. I say, a little old wine drinker me.
Okay, let me just say, what is that rattlesnake sound that they do?
It might be a rattlesnake. I don't know.
Back then, they probably actually took a rattlesnake's tail and probably just...
Oh, I'm sure they had the main snake and a couple backup snakes. A few mics wired around the room with tape flowing everywhere for the delay.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm not sure what that is, but
Loved it. I loved it.
yeah, like this is, you can kind of hear him having a little bit of fun with the song, and he wasn't really that foreign to the whole cowboy country genre.
Right.
He was the guy was in films with John Wayne, for God's sake, right?
Oh, was he? He was in films with John Wayne?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so he knows his way around, ranches and horses, and he obviously sung country and western theme songs in the movies before.
Right.
This guy had a gift.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
yes. Oh, man, what a voice.
now the little piece of musical history that at least pop musical history that I wanted to put out there now. Mm-hmm. Of course, Dean Martin did not start off or is not remembered in the history books as a country and western singer. He sung the standards. He sung the Great American Songbook.
Yeah.
He started out in the 40s, 50s big band era. Him, Frank Sinatra, all these guys going around with their orchestras. There was actually a method and a reason behind that. In case you haven't noticed, a lot of the artists today, it takes them a while between putting out CDs.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They'll put one out, maybe it'll be a year or two, sometimes 3 before they put something new out. I think Nickelback put out a CD in 2006, and it was a couple years before their last one came out because they were touring all over the place. They're like biggest band in the world or something like that, right? Mm-hmm. You go back to the 40s and 50s and that particular time, the reason why artists from that era put out like 2 or 3 records a year or more is because they were going around and acting as the radio for people. Back at that time, people didn't have televisions, it was still getting into the American home.
Right.
But the population at that time was rural. So a lot of people didn't even have radios. The only time that they heard music coming through when they weren't producing it themselves was when, a traveling show like this would come in. So that's why you have songs such as My Way, all the stuff from the classic American songbook, it's all been covered by a bunch of different artists.
Right.
The writers had their royalties come in, but it was these guys who went out and actually brought the music to the people so they would hear it and be able to buy it.
Right.
The way that it's flipped in, 50 or 60 years or something like that is amazing. That we can put on a show like this now, when in the past you actually had to have people physically bring the music to you
Yeah.
and play it for you.
Yes.
And that's why these guys earned a lot of their cash, because they had to go out. There was no lip syncing. These guys had to go out live every night and put on the best show, because if they did a poor job, it's not like, oh, well, the CD skipped, we'll play it again 20 times in the next hour.
Right.
This was their one shot to get people interested in this particular style of music.
Mm-hmm.
So, there was a much closer relationship between the songwriters, the performers, even the musicians who were able to do this stuff on one take. The session guys at that time, simply amazing.
Yeah.
So that's your little piece of musical history for today's show.
Good stuff. I loved it. And how much Dean Martin do you have in your collection?
I've only got about 3 or 4 CDs.
3 or 4 CDs.
Yeah, like I only have a couple of greatest hits packages and stuff like that.
Right.
I it's hard to find some of his stuff because a lot of it is greatest hits that's available.
Oh, okay.
And they're really, they're packed with sometimes 20 or 30 songs each. But to find the original music that he recorded in its original form, in the record that it came out on,
Right.
and to have it, because he's from a different era. A lot of stuff was singles.
Yep.
So to find a full-length CD of his that I don't have at least a couple of songs off of to make it worth purchasing is difficult, because I don't have an unlimited budget.
Right. Right.
So there's only, like I said, I've only got about four or 5.
Oh, well, you're gonna have to bring that over, because I'd like to hear more of it.
Oh, no
I'm trying to
problem.
get my hands on more Dean Martin, but I just can't find it.
No problem.
Good. All right. Okay, so my next track, we're going to get the Jeff Healey Band in here, and we're going to play Shapes of Things from their cover-to-cover CD. So just a little background information on Shapes of Things. It was originally performed by the Yardbirds when Jeff Beck was the guitar player for the band. And it was one of their best-known songs due to Jeff Beck's groundbreaking guitar solo, which contained heavy amounts of fuzz tone and feedback, both rare at the time.
As a guitar player, I'm sure that means something to you.
Yes.
For me, I don't understand.
Guitar players, listen up. I hope you listened. Yeah. Anyway, so we got the Jeff Healey Band that covered it in 1995's cover-to-cover CD. So what can I say about Jeff Healey? He owns a bar on Queen Street. We haven't been there yet. But Jeff Healey, he's still pumping out the CDs. He released...
He is?
Yes, 2006 was the last one, and it's called It's Tight Like That.
Is that new material?
I'm going to say maybe.
Maybe, sorta, kinda. I mean, does it matter even? Because
I think it's new material.
Because I
think it's new material because he released some master hits in 1999.
Okay.
I don't know if that's his greatest hits or another cover album of great hits. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think he even needs to make music anymore? Because he's branched off into so many other things. He has the bar. He does phenomenal work with charities.
Yep. He hosts a CBC radio program titled My Kind of Jazz.
Yeah, but okay.
Vintage jazz.
Let me tell you something about CBC radio. Okay.
Okay.
They're ripping us off. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but Randy Bachman has a show on CBC radio. I don't know if it's 1 or 2, but it's 99.1.
Okay.
He's ripping off our gimmick.
Oh, he is?
Of playing songs from everywhere.
No.
Yes. I listened to his show for about 10 minutes, and I got so mad I started yelling at the radio in my car.
Can we call in?
Because he is ripping us off, except, his library, of course, is extensive, because he's working with CBC Library.
Yes.
And, his production, of course, is leaps and bounds ahead of ours because we're doing everything here ourselves.
Yeah.
He's
yeah.
got some jack off in the truck
Jaffer.
that can tell him, just whip together a promo for me. Meanwhile, we got to spend a whole day making up stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's ripping us off.
Oh.
Big time.
Does he take phone calls?
I didn't listen long enough.
Oh. We should call in. If
He takes
does.
requests.
Okay, we should be like.
And
yes.
he was talking about stuff, and I got so angry I couldn't take it.
You should call in.
And I know he's ripping us off, that
Yeah,
bastard. I can
and
feel it.
We should call in and say, yes, your program sounds exactly like Climax Radio.
Yeah. When is the check coming, you bastard?
We should have our listenership call in and tell him and make him aware
I
that
would
he's
love
ripping
it.
us off.
I would love it. Okay, you know what? Anyone out there in the listenership right now, call in to Randy Bachman's show on CBC Radio. Go to the internet, find out when it's on. I don't even want to plug it any more than I have to. But find the show, call in and say, do you know your show sounds a lot like ClimaxRadioshow.com? And just get that up there. It would be a blast to hear. And I don't want any of this to take away. Now, I'm just angry at Mr. Bachman for what he's doing on the radio.
Right.
Because, he put out some kick-ass music.
Okay.
And I enjoy it. I like it.
Yeah.
Quite a bit.
Yeah.
So I don't want to take away from his songwriting. I mean, him and Burton Cummings, they were phenomenal.
Yes.
But just his radio show. I mean, you've done so much, Mr. Bachman. Can't you leave this alone?
True. Yes. Yes.
And I know that you started your show after you heard us. I know.
We were here first.
I can't prove it, but it's just something I feel in my bones.
Maybe we can carbon date our show, and it'll be older than his show.
Well, we know when our show started. I don't know. See,
they need proof. They would need proof.
Well, I'm willing to let it all go, be water under the bridge if you have us on your show.
We can host his show.
If you let us in the studio for half an hour, just give us a chance to spin some stuff.
Yeah, exactly. We can sit in.
I can head down to the CBC studios on Yonge Street.
We can do that.
Or wherever they happen to be taping at the studio.
Power.
If you're a real man and not a scared child, you'll have us in the studio with you at some point. I await your phone call.
Scared child. Okay.
You can get in touch with us through the Climax line. 1-888-49 I came.
Very
Mr.
nice.
Bachman, ball's in your court.
Oh my.
Mr. Magnum, I'm sorry.
No problem.
Yes, the shape of things.
Yeah. Before I close it off and play this track, here's a little news flash. The bar recently moved to a bigger location, to 56 Blue Jays Way, and he's renamed it Healy's Roadhouse.
So he's right in the heart of Toronto.
Yeah. Yeah.
56 Blue Jay. Oh.
Yeah. Now he is. But before he was like Queen close to Spadina, I think.
Yeah. See, I mean, he's doing so well in everything else.
Well, here's a little update on his personal life, though. On January 11th of this year, '07, he went under surgery to remove cancerous tissue from both lungs. In the previous 18 months, he had 2 sarcomas removed from his legs.
Well, okay. For those that don't know, Mr. Healy is blind.
Right.
And that was an affliction I believe he acquired in childhood. Now, he's had numerous medical instances in his life. And to hear something like this, it's really sad, but I honestly can't say that I'm surprised. It reaches a point with your personal health that the next new thing is not that far away.
Right.
And you just keep on getting something. I mean, I applaud him for everything that he's done.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm sure that with the charity work that he's done, and all the other good things that he has accomplished, he'll be rewarded in the next life for sure.
Oh.
And he won't have to put up with any of the physical pain that he's gone through in this life. I mean, I know I wouldn't be able to put up with it. The stuff that he's gone through, it would literally kill me.
Yeah.
So
let's play the track now. Shapes of Things from the Jeff Healy Band CD Cover to Cover. of Things.
I was not prepared for that to be an instrumental.
Oh, you weren't.
No, because Jeff Healey
He can sing.
he can really pound it out.
Oops.
I mean, he's not a bad vocalist.
No.
I thought for sure that I would get to hear him sing something.
Yeah, you know what? I should have not warned you, but I should have,
Is that the same for all of these songs?
It's most of it. I think he does sing on a couple of them,
Right.
but he does, I think it's mostly instrumentals.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because as instrumental, it's excellent.
Yeah.
Especially for people who are listening to our show, if you're driving or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's a rockin' tune for driving.
Oh, it is. It is. And then it picks up, and beautiful. Love that track.
It's in terms of best driving music, would you put instrumentals up there?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
See, for driving music, I would put something a little on the softer side. For me, the ultimate driving CD is Radiohead, The Benz.
Really?
You can put that CD in, just hit play, and you'll wind up,
I think
300 kilometers from your house if you drive fast enough.
I think it depends if you're city driving or highway driving.
See, that's why I put the Benz up there, because I think it fits either one.
Right.
But yes, you are correct. If you're city driving,
It's different.
it's different.
Yeah.
It's different.
But highway driving,
What would you put for the city?
you know what? I would have to think about it.
Yeah?
I couldn't tell you. But nothing fast or quick. Something
You need to be mellow, because
a little bit more mellow.
otherwise you're going to have road rage.
Yeah.
You'll be taking a golf club to people's cars.
Yeah. At least with a nice, rockin' song, you could, throw the hammer down and.
Yeah. Well, I can't really do that in my car. I don't think my car comes with a hammer. It may have been a factory option I just missed, but I don't know.
Oh man, we can install one.
Aftermarket hammers.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, we'll be at what's the name of that show? Not the show, the car show. Night Wings.
Knight Rider.
No, there's all the guys who soup up their vehicles around here. They have a show, like all the guys who are really into tuning up their cars.
Like around here?
Yeah, it's called Night something.
Is it like a Canadian show or like?
Oh yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah, my brother-in-law went to it a few times. I don't know if it's still on, but it's pure, gearhead heaven.
Gearheads, right.
All the Asian dudes with their imports that are look like they should be on the cover of a magazine. Like that's the kind of stuff that's there. This is not for
Gran Turismo.
Yeah, this is not for the beginner. This is a
Right.
hardcore show.
Oh
Man. Yeah, Night something. I forget.
Ah.
But it doesn't matter. I'll have to ask my brother-in-law.
Well, he listens to the show, so you don't have to ask him, right?
And now he can phone in on the Climax line and tell me.
That's right.
Just in case, if he's listening on his way into work, he gets up early. He's on the road at like 5 o'clock in the morning.
Oh yeah, so hopefully he downloads this.
So if you're listening now, I hope. But by now you should have stopped at Tim's. He's like addicted to Tim Hortons.
Oh, is he?
So by now you should have stopped at Tim's and just whip out the cell 1-888-49. I came and just let me know what the name of that cartooner show was. Night something. Okay, my next song. Johnny Cash.
Yes.
Man in Black.
Yes.
Johnny Cash is on our list of people. If you don't know who he is, then I don't know how you made it this long.
I know.
He's icon, showstopper, legend. You throw whatever epithet you want at this guy. He's done it all. He's seen it all. I finally saw the Walk the Line movie.
Finally.
Yes.
Lucky you said finally.
I finally
stressed.
Finally saw it.
Oh my goodness.
It was worth all the wait and more. Fantastic film.
Yeah.
I won't go into the show, a synopsis, whatever. I'll just tell people.
Because everyone's seen it.
Well, everyone should have seen it by now. Because if I've seen it and I waited long enough to see it, this song that I'm going to play for you now, Man in Black, it says better than I could ever say why people love Johnny Cash. The show focuses on one of the things that you notice Johnny Cash in concert, he always wears black. It's an answer to why he wears that color.
Mm-hmm.
It brings out a lot of what he held personal to himself.
Mm-hmm.
It brings out a lot of why people took his music to heart. Anybody, convicts, little kids, guys in the army, and any regular Joe, he is the voice of the common man.
Mm-hmm.
So, without further ado, here is Johnny Cash, Man in Black.
Well, you wonder why I always dress in black. Why you never see bright colors on my back. And why does my appearance seem to have a somber tone? Well, there's a reason for the things that I have on. I wear the black for the poor and the beaten down, living in the hopeless, hungry side of town. I wear it for the prisoner who has long paid for his crime, but is there because he's a victim of the time. I wear the black for those who've never read or listened to the words that Jesus said about the road to happiness through love and charity. Why, you'd think he's talking straight to you and me. Well, we're doing mighty fine, I do suppose, in our streak of lightning cars and fancy clothes. But just so we're reminded of the ones who are held back, up front there ought to be a man in black. I wear it for the sick and lonely old, for the reckless ones whose bad trip left them cold. I wear the black in mourning for the lives that could have been. Each week we lose 100 fine young men. And I wear it for the thousands who have died, believing that the Lord was on their side. I wear it for another 100,000 who have died, believing that we all were on their side. Well, there's things that never will be right, I know, and things need changing everywhere you go. But till we start to make a move to make a few things right, you'll never see me wear a suit of white. Oh, I'd love to wear a rainbow every day and tell the world that everything's okay. But I'll try to carry off a little darkness on my back till things are brighter. I'm the man in black.
So, what was the CD called again?
Yes. I did not give a CD because I'm not sure which CD I'm going to take that song off of.
Right.
I just took down an MP3 that I happen to have on my computer that I ripped from my CDs.
Right.
I'm not sure which one I'm going to put up. That song, it comes up every now and then. I think there might even be a version of that on his American recordings that he did with Rick Rubin near the end of his life. He did 5. Well, it may be 6.
Six is coming out.
Six is coming out.
The 6th one is coming out.
So I'd like to listen to that and hear what it sounds like.
Mm-hmm.
This one here, you can tell it's obviously from an earlier point in his life.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I also have a live one where you can really hear the band or the crowd start getting into it when he starts changing the pitch and near the end of the song and starts moving up and starts talking about all the young men that are dying and stuff like that. So I'm not sure which CD I'm going to push yet.
Right, okay.
But when we post it up, I will put a link to whichever CD I happen to feel best suits the time.
All right.
I mean, hell, just go out and buy them all.
Yeah,
know,
definitely.
It's Johnny Cash. I mean, you almost can't go wrong.
Yeah.
No matter what you're looking for, he's got it there. He truly and truly defies description.
Mm-hmm. Well, if I can just give an update on that 6th album, it's set for release this month, October 2007.
Really, you're looking that up right now?
Right now.
Okay.
Now, I don't have an exact date, but it says October '07. So.
And does it say what it is? Is it new material that was recorded before he died, or is it just stuff
You know
that was
what?
left over?
It's Rick Rubin produced it. I'm
Yes.
thinking it. I don't have all that information, but yeah, I don't know, dude.
Okay.
But it's coming out, so it should be. We're waiting.
Okay. Because I'm hoping that it's material that like new material that was made with the idea of an album in mind, because each of the American recording CDs,
Yeah.
they all have their own story.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
one was recorded on the couch in Rick Rubin's living room.
Right.
One had Tom Petty sitting in and at his
Yes.
band as the session guys.
Yeah,
So I'm
yeah.
hoping that the next one that comes out has a bit of a theme to it. It's not
Yeah.
just something they cobbled together.
Right. All I can tell you is it's the final recording session
Okay.
before Cash died.
Okay. Well, that makes me happy that there's still something else, and that it actually has a release date.
Only a month. October '07, man.
You know what? That's more than I get from Guns N' Roses.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
This will probably.
I won't be waiting 10 years
Oh my god.
and looking at fan tribute videos for new songs, or
Yeah.
have to travel down to Rio to see them in concert or whatever, right? Like, I know the CD is coming out.
Yeah.
So, Axl Rose, get off your ass, put it out, okay? It's amazing that people are still sticking around and waiting for you to put this material out,
Mm-hmm.
but the material you put out in the past, great stuff. The stuff I've heard, the stuff that you've leaked, the stuff that you've put out for people to hear. You know, I don't know how many fat, sweaty late night DJs you've gone and spoken to and said, by the way, here's a secret track, before I fire everyone in the band and hire up 10 new guys.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
get off your ass, put something out, please.
Yeah.
Please, and thank you. Your next song, sir.
Okay, my next song. Now, since when we talked about Bon Jovi the last episode,
Yes.
I don't know if we now. Yeah, you said you wanted to bring country to the table. You brought it. I didn't bring it. I do have a John Bon Jovi track. Now they just released Lost Highway, which is a country CD,
Yes.
which is amazing.
Doing very well,
Yeah.
sales-wise, too.
Have you heard it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. My sister is a huge Bon Jovi fan.
Oh.
Every new thing that comes out,
Yeah.
I'm just made to suffer through it.
Suffer.
Well, some of the stuff that he's put out,
Right.
yes, you can tell he's a hit maker.
Yeah.
Just like you mentioned, I can't remember if it was episode 2 or 3. We were talking about guys who could write hits.
Yeah.
There's not that many. You mentioned Prince.
Yeah.
I put Bon Jovi in that category too.
Yeah.
Because no matter what he writes, it sounds good and it sells.
Yeah. And so Lost Highways, country CD, really good. I didn't want to bring it in because it's out there now and people are listening to it now. I decided to bring up the soundtrack to the Young Guns 2 movie, okay, which was written by John Bon Jovi. It's his first solo album, released in 1990, and it has a few hit singles. Number 1, Blaze of Glory, and the track Miracle. What I've chosen is Blaze of Glory, since the CD was released in '90. I decided to go with the title track because who knows if anyone has heard it, especially the new generation.
I will tell you, I haven't heard that song on the radio in quite a while.
Yeah, it's been a long time. So, yeah.
There has been a bit of a country backlash recently,
Uh-huh.
at least in the market where we are.
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
was what was the name of the country music station? 95, 95.3, something like that. 93.5.
Kiss FM.
Was that it? Was that the name
I
of the
think there
country
was a radio
country
Kiss
station?
FM, but
Yeah.
we're talking 10 years ago.
This was a long time ago,
I think
and
I got
then
a coffee mug from them.
it disappeared.
Yeah.
And usually it disappears and something new pops up to take the place of that
Yeah, new
particular
format.
genre.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
I don't really know of any country music stations,
No,
purely country music station now. At
Mhm.
least,
here in Toronto.
yeah.
I don't think so.
And if there is one, the stuff that they were playing before, the new country, I mean, I wasn't listening to it anyway.
Neither was I.
So
Neither was I.
this song here is?
This song here, okay, it's Blaze of Glory, the title track from the CD Blaze of Glory, the soundtrack to the Young Guns 2 movie, written by John Bon Jovi.
Wake up in the morning and I raise my weary head. I've got an old coat for a pillow, and the earth was last night's bed. I don't know where I'm going, only God knows where I've been. I'm a devil on the run, a six-gun lover, a candle in the wind. Yeah! Brought into this world with a seal born with sin. Well, at least they gave me something I didn't have to steal or have to win. Well, they tell me that I'm wanted. Yeah, I'm a wanted man. I'm a goat in your stable. I'm what Cain was to Abel. Mister, catch me if you can. I'm going down in a blaze of glory. Take me now, but know the truth. I'm going out in a blaze of glory. And Lord, I never drew first, but I drew first blood. I'm going son. Call me young gun. You ask about my conscience, and I offer you my soul. You ask if I'll grow to be a wise man. Well, I ask if I'll grow old. You ask me if I've known love and what it's like to sing songs in the rain. Well, I've seen love come, I've seen it shut down, I've seen it die in vain. Shut down in a blaze of glory. Take me now, but know the truth. 'Cause I'm going down in a blaze of glory. Lord, I never drew first, but I drew first blood. I'm the devil's son. Call me young Each night I go to bed, I pray the Lord my soul to keep. No, I ain't looking for forgiveness, but before I'm 6 foot deep. Lord, I gotta ask a favor, and I hope you'll understand. 'Cause I've lived life to the fullest. Let this boy die like a man. Staring down a bullet, let me make my final stand. Shot down in a blaze of glory. Take me now, but know the truth. I'm going
there you go, Blaze of Glory.
You know, there's some people, they just have too much talent, and they make me so jealous. And Bon Jovi's one of them.
Yeah.
Musical, acting, I mean, he still manages to retain his cool
Yeah.
after all of these years, him doing everything. It's a cheap shot to say, he does the same thing over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
That may apply to a band like AC/DC, where they really do the same thing over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
But the way he's managed to put emphasis on different things, he can do straight ahead rock and roll. He can do the country stuff.
Yeah.
Ballads, I think he's the guy right now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Amazing stuff.
So, okay.
Yeah, I wanted to see the booklet when we're finished with the show. I just want to run through the booklet that came with the CD there.
Sure.
I just want to check out because I mean I'm sure he's probably had some famous musicians sit in with him too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I just want to check that out. If if that's all right after. I don't
Of
know if he has
course.
to take it or whatever, but yeah.
No problem.
Wouldn't mind checking that out. Okay. Now, for my next song, I'm going to bring out the listener request.
All right.
This one comes from Soundwave. He submitted some stuff to one of our previous shows. You can catch him on the internet at don'tcrossthestreams.blogspot.com.
Right.
He has submitted a country tune, something with a Canadian flair. This is from Stompin' Tom Connors.
Mm-hmm.
Sudbury Saturday Night. Now, there's no G on Stompin' Tom. If you try typing it into Google with a G, you won't get any hits.
Oh.
STOMPIN apostrophe Tom Connors.
Right.
Right now, Tom Connors, just to give you a little bit of background, he's just shy of about 75 years old. The guy is still going strong. He's originally from New Brunswick. He hitchhiked across Canada when he was a teenager and started writing songs about Canadian myths. His most famous song, of course, for those in Canada, they will know, is the hockey song.
Mm-hmm.
You hear it at least 4 or 5 times a year whenever you sit down to watch National Hockey League on Saturday nights.
Right.
It's just something you cannot get away from. This song, the hockey song, actually won him the Order of Canada.
Yes. He won that recently?
I'm not sure if it was recently. I'm not sure if it was the same time that Rush received their
Oh, right.
Order of Canada.
Right.
But, I mean, just for that song, he deserves it. I'll give you a little bit more information on him after we play this song.
Okay.
This is Stompin' Tom Connors, Sudbury Saturday Night, and again, as with the Johnny Cash CD, I will pick the one that best suits where this comes from.
Okay.
And the girls are out the bingo and the boys are getting stinkle. We think no more of bingo on a Sudbury Saturday night. The glasses they will tinkle when our eyes begin to twinkle, and we think no more of bingo on a Sudbury Saturday night. With Irish Jim O'Connell there and Scotty Jack McDonald, there's Hunky Frederick Herschel getting tight, but that's alright. There's Happy German Fritzy there with Frenchy getting tipsy, and even Joe the Gypsy knows it's Saturday tonight. Now when Mary Ann and Mabel come to join us at the table and tell us how the bingo went tonight, we'll look a fright. But if they won the money, we'll be laughing up the honey boys, 'cause everything is funny for it's Saturday tonight. Yeah, the girls are out the bingo and the boys are getting stinkle. We think no more of bingo on a Sudbury Saturday night. The glasses they will tinkle when our eyes begin to twinkle, and we think no more of bingo on a Sudbury Saturday night. Ah, pleasure. Drink the loot we borrowed and recuperate tomorrow, 'cause everything is wonderful tonight. We had a good fight. We ate the dilly pickle and we forgot about the nickel, and everybody's tickled for it's Saturday tonight. The songs that we'll be singing, they might be wrong, but they'll be ringing when all the lights of town are shining bright and we're all tight. Like a tower gone Monday, but tomorrow's only Sunday, and we're out to have a fun day for it's Saturday tonight. Yeah, the girls are out to bingo and the boys are getting stinko. We think no more of bingo on a Sudbury Saturday night. The glasses they will tinkle when our eyes begin to twinkle, and we think no more of Inco on a Sudbury Saturday night. We think no more of Inco on a Sudbury Saturday night.
This is the working man song. Anyone who's out there, slave to the grind, Monday to Friday, or maybe Sunday to Thursday, depending on how your shifts work.
That's right.
This song here, it was the context surrounding the song is from the Inco nickel mines in Sudbury. For those of you that don't know where that is or what that means, consider yourselves lucky, because it's not the nicest place to be. They have suffered. Not just the people there have suffered quite a bit because it's not easy mining nickel, but also in the past they had a lot of environmental disasters in Sudbury.
Okay.
So they've been trying to clean that up as time goes on.
You're right.
Stompin' Tom, the reason why, again, I didn't give a CD title for this is because he has somewhere along the line of 30 studio releases, and all of his business is actually in Canada. He does not release anything outside of Canada.
Really?
Yes. And given that he started speaking about Canadian myths, I guess the record company maybe thought that he would not be able to translate anywhere else except Canada.
Okay.
But good music is good music.
Yeah.
You know, you can hear how he got his nickname in the song with him stomping on the board.
Yeah.
About midway through the song, you can hear the pound, pound, pound clicking in.
Yeah.
And that's not just something he does as an act. He's been doing that forever. He has gone through boards before where at the end of the show it's just splinters underneath him.
No way.
He's worn out his boots. I don't think it was the right idea that they didn't release his music outside of Canada. This is something that, I mean, if you can't push this as Canadian, do you want... recently when I was out traveling, you know what people think the voice of Canadian music is?
Rita McNeil.
Nelly Furtado.
Oh.
Swear to God. And it's like, well, she's okay. Not my cup of tea.
Neither's mine.
But right now, she represents Canada to the world.
Right.
Even more than Celine Dion and stuff like that, because her music connects with the kids out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
So she is the voice of Canada. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but to throw her out there and keep someone like Stompin' Tom from getting out there, I mean, you know, the guy's 75 years old now. It's not gonna happen.
Right. Yeah. But see, Nelly Furtado, she's got the help of super producers and
she does
and all that.
She does, but you know what? That never stopped someone like Bryan Adams from doing that as well.
Oh no!
Right?
Well, I think. Well, you know, I think he works.
Granted, he writes his own stuff.
Yeah.
And he plays it, which is, you know, another ball of wax entirely.
Yes.
But just having, I mean, you have to have that first trailblazer that goes out and wears the maple leaf,
right,
to get people open to listening to some Canadian music.
Yeah.
And I don't see anything wrong with pushing Stomping Tom at one point. Now, like I said, it's not going to happen. He's not going to go tour. He's not going to have a career revival or anything
he
like
doesn't.
that.
I don't think he cares.
And honestly, yeah, I don't think he cares either. He's more than happy just selling his music in Canada.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and I'm pretty sure, you know, every Saturday night it's played. I wonder if the stadiums, the arenas pay royalty fees for broadcasting
for that song. Of course.
I guess
hockey song, stuff like that.
I guess if they play it all, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Not 30 seconds of it.
Yeah, I'll bet you they pay him something. It's just I see it as a wasted opportunity.
Right.
But you know, that's it. Looks like we'll just have to keep our ears open for new Canadian talent.
Yeah, definitely. Which we're always welcome to.
And I forget. This isn't your last song,
no,
right?
It's not.
You have two left.
I have two more left.
Excellent. Okay, so we're right on track.
Yeah. Okay, for my second last track, we're going to go to the listener submission, Marco Kdonik. And he suggested something from the Mellygrove Band. Now, he didn't submit a track, but he just suggested the band, so we went to the website and we listened to their stuff. And they're pretty good. They're pretty good. I would say that they kind of sound like Sloan. Wouldn't you say?
I have never heard any of their material.
Oh. Well, the little bit that you've heard before.
Well, when you were doing your show prep, I kind of caught a small
Right.
sampling of them.
Right.
I don't
Right.
know. I don't know if Sloan would be it for me.
Okay.
I was reading a little bit of the band bio, and I
Right.
can definitely hear. I mean, we'll talk about that after
Yeah.
the song.
Yeah.
I can hear some of the influences.
Mm-hmm.
Sloan, I don't know. I have to say, I'm not really that big a fan of Sloan.
Oh no, I think Sloan's
They're
all
okay.
right. But I would say just in terms of what they sounded like,
Right.
and
Okay.
Sloan was pretty close.
I do like that Sloan song, Money City Maniacs.
Yeah, it is kick-ass.
That
Track.
track is.
Yeah.
I mean, you put it on, and talk about driving music.
Yeah. Well, I'm
when
actually,
the siren kicks in.
the
with
siren
that song
kicks in.
right
I'm
at the
actually
beginning.
looking around because I think they're following me.
You're looking for cherries in the rearview mirror.
Yeah, for real. I'm like, I gotta turn this down.
Okay, so you know what? I do like that particular song from Sloan. I haven't really followed their career or anything like that.
Right.
I know they just had a comeback CD recently.
Yeah, recently I haven't heard it.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to pick it up. But so this Melly Grove band.
Melly Grove Band. Yes, Canadian indie rock band. 4 members in the band: Jason Nunez, Darcy Rego, Andrew Scott, and Michael Small. I don't know how tiny he is, but I guess we're just going to get on with playing the track. We don't have that much information on the band except that they're an indie band. They have 3 CDs out. One in 2000 called Stars and Guitars. 2002, Let It Grow. 2006, Planets Conspire. And they're hoping to release one in 2008 where they're currently writing and recording.
Now, given that Marco Kodanik, the listener,
Yes.
did not give you any information on the band, did you go find it? Do they have
They
a
have
dedicated website?
They
Are
have
through
their
a
own
label?
Yes, they have their own website, mellygroveband.com. We will have the link on our website where you can read the stuff to download. You can find a few tracks to download. Where they're going to play. If you like their music, you can see where they're going to be performing. Some more band bios and
Photos, discography,
exactly
all
the
that kind of
usual.
stuff?
Yeah, the usual photos, discography. All right.
I am ready to hear the entire song from start to
Okay.
finish.
So I've chosen Monkey Mask. Now this one here, I said that they sound like Sloan because of this track here, and it's pretty good. What can I say?
Monkey Mask.
Monkey Mask.
I'm ready.
So here's the Melly Grove Band, Monkey Mask, from their 2002 CD, Let It Grow. Well, there you have it, Monkey Mask.
I can definitely tell that when you go to the band bio page, you'll read that one of the members, Andrew Scott, was in a band called Death from Above, 1979. I really enjoyed that band when they were around and kicking.
Oh, right.
It was, I believe, simply a 2-man outfit guitar and drums, much like the White Stripes.
Okay.
And the song that we just heard really sounds like Death from Above 1979.
Oh. Well, I haven't heard any Death from Above.
I think that you would enjoy it.
Yeah.
I mean, not to say that I didn't enjoy the song we just heard, because the
Right.
song we just heard, Monkey Mask, is good.
Yeah.
It is. I guess it's kind of funny if you go to their website, mellygroveband.com. You can see the cover for the Let It Grow CD that this song comes off of,
Uh-huh.
and there's only 3 of them on the front.
Right.
So I guess the fourth member would be Andrew Scott, since he joined in late 2002,
Right.
and that's when this CD came out. I without having the credits in front of me, I don't know if Andrew Scott actually played on that particular song,
Right.
but that's what it sounds like to me anyway. It's nice to hear some Canadian music that sounds different from the Canadian music that's being played on the radio.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Yeah.
Because the sort of punk pop stuff that they're playing on the radio, I wouldn't fit Melly Grove Band into that. And it's nice to have another voice out there.
Yeah.
What did you think of the track?
It was really good. I liked it. Like I said before, I spun the CD. It reminds me of Sloan, because Sloan is like that. It's like they.
Yeah, where exactly did you get that from? Because I didn't hear any.
It
Sloan
sounds
in
like
there.
Sloan, because I don't know, man. Like Sloan can sometimes just, like, the drums will go wild, and they'll just, all of them will start singing together, just like that. What's the word I'm looking for? Where they all sing?
Jam?
Well, yeah, they all jam.
Harmonize?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And their voices will all get together and harmonize, and it just, I don't know.
For those that don't know, Sloan is a band originally out of Halifax. I believe they're now relocated to Toronto on a permanent basis.
Yeah. So it looks like they made some cash.
Okay. Well, yeah, I think the Canadian market is not that big, but it's big enough that you can make some some coin.
They got
And more power
downtown.
More power to them.
Yeah. But thank you, Marco Kodonic, for that listener submission. It was really good. Really good. Melogrove Band.
I'm telling you, we're gonna get to the point where we should do an entire show just on listener submission.
Well, I would like to do an entire show on listener submission indie band requests.
Indie band stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because
that's what I would prefer to do more. Unless we're just another, much on demand.
Oh, okay. Point made. I
Good.
agree with you.
Good.
Okay.
Okay.
Let me get to my last song.
All right.
My favorite band, Metallica. Song called "Mama Said." I could talk for hours about the history of Metallica, but I won't, because we don't have hours.
Right.
I mean, maybe I'll do another show someplace else at a different time. For now, I'll just give you the quick and dirty background to this song. Mama Said, it's a country tinge song. It's off their 6th album called Load, came out in 1996. It's pretty much a sprawling epic of music dealing with all sorts of emotions. It embodies the Metallica ethic of one man against the world, but it also has a tenderness that up until this point in their career, in 1996, you never heard it in a Metallica song before. Still you have that angry young man appeal, but some of the things that take place in this song, such as the death of one's mother, you have to sort of pierce through the veil that's shown to the rest of the world, and you get down to the nitty-gritty of what someone is actually thinking inside. Funerals are not fun places to be, obviously,
Right.
and it's very rare that if you go to an occasion like that, everyone really is truly guarded when they are there. Both the guests, because they don't want to say something foolish, and the people who are related to the person who passed on. It's not a time where they're simply counting down the seconds to get the day over. They're just simply trying to work through the grief on their own. Usually it's a pretty fresh, the wounds are pretty fresh whenever they have a funeral. I mean, I don't know how it is in other countries, but I know here we get things done rather quickly.
Yeah.
The song is most likely autobiographical. and dealing from the position of the lead singer, Kirk Hammett. The song is essentially a country blast from left field on a CD filled with songs like Ain't My Bitch, 2x4, Wasting My Hate, Bleeding Me, all really heavy, industrial, hard rockin' type songs, and this song just comes from out of nowhere. So without any further ado, this is Metallica, Mama Said, off the album Load from 1996.
She has taught me well, told me when I was young, son, your life's an open book, don't close it for it's done. The brightest flame burns quickest, that's what I heard her say. Son's heart's owed to mother, but I must find my way. Let my heart go. Let your sun grow. Mama, let my heart go. Or let this heart be still. Yes, still. Name, wild blood in my veins, apron strings around my neck, the mark that still remains, a little at an early age of what I heard is wrong. I never asked forgiveness, but when it's said is done. Let my heart go. Let your sun grow.
CD, Load, also has Until It Sleeps, which also has a bit of a country theme to it, but seeing as how that was the big single from the CD, I decided to move on to this one. The links between Metallica and country music, they really do go back quite a ways if you follow it. The lead singer, Kirk Hammett, he is, and I'm not sure if it's just him or other members of the band, they're very good friends with Waylon Jennings. For those that don't know, he was the guy that, well, he's probably most famously known for writing the Dukes of Hazzard theme song.
Oh, really?
But there's, a little bit more to him than that. He's truly a country music legend on his own.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it pleases me to no end to see Metallica put out something like this. The entire CD is really a more personal effort. It came out, after grunge literally died in 1996. And everything about the band was being criticized. They hadn't put out a new full-length CD since 1990 with the Black Album. Many thought that the music world had passed them by. They received a lot of bad publicity, being on the wrong end of the Napster MP3 downloading debate. They were characterized in the media somewhat unfairly, I think, as being the big bad rock band that wanted to get all their royalties.
Yeah.
There were cartoons made of them.
Yeah.
Some of those are popping to mind right now. And everything about the band, it just took on a magnified flavor. That's a metaphor that makes no sense. But I mean, even at this point in time, the band members, they all split up. At that time, Jason Newsted was still part of the band. They all split up. They went their own ways. They did their separate thing. And they all became fathers. They were married. All of them cut their hair. It was not a PR move by any stretch of the imagination.
Right.
A guy wants to cut his hair. Hey, who cares, right? Even that level of detail got so blown up by the fans, fans and media alike. It truly was, I don't want to say a comeback album, but it did help to reestablish them, showing that they could do a little bit of everything and open them up to, for the next 7 or 8 years, they really did mine this vein. They came out with Load and Reload. They a lot of the more personal material. This was where it started. Still keeping, the Angry Young Man, but this is where it started from.
Yeah. This album, I have this album, and it's a great one. And it's
you do?
Yeah, I have Load.
Oh, okay.
It's been a long time since I've listened to it, so it was good to hear that track again.
There's I mean, I go back to that. I go back to those later CDs every now and then because the first stuff that they came out with, going back to when they had Dave Mustaine in the band. There was a point in high school where every day I would just listen to something. So they had four or five records out at the time. Every day I would put it and listen to it. So I'm pretty familiar with that stuff.
Right.
This stuff here, because it came out when I was older, I had to make a lot more effort to get into it.
Oh, right.
And every time that I go back, they're both the CDs, Load and Reload.
Yeah.
They're fully packed CDs. There's 70 plus minutes of music on them.
Yeah. Yeah.
12, 13, maybe 14 songs on them. It takes quite a while. It's an effort to go through and listen to the CD from start to finish.
Right.
But every time you go back, you start at a different song. Something new always pops out from those CDs for me. For me anyway. There's always something else that comes up.
Right. No.
And I am finished for this show.
All right.
Mr. Magnum, your last song, please.
Our last song is from another, I guess you would say, another indie band. Big in the mid-90s, 1990s. And like I said, they released a CD, 30 Degrees, the 96 Basement Sessions. So this is actually a compilation of just stuff they did in the studio.
Now, wait a second. Usually, items with a title such as that, they usually come out after a band has put out some other material.
Right.
So you have, the basement sessions, the garage tapes,
Right.
all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Was that the actual title of this first release
Yes.
piece?
Yes, that's the actual title of this CD.
Oh,
Because,
okay.
like I said, during 1996, High Point, everything was fresh and new, and they were just, constantly jamming, and decided to, you know what, let's just hit record, and let's just see what we capture on the tape.
So this is not this is not a greatest hits
It's
package.
not
Stuff like
not
that?
no.
It's just a straight
It's-
studio
it's-
recording.
It's a straight
first
studio
run.
recording with they've tried to cover bands that they've been influenced by in the music. So I found this collecting dust on the shelf, and I said, you know what? Let's have a little fun and play it.
I can't wait to hear this.
All right. So what I've chosen is the track "Wild Thing," like as I again said at the beginning of the show, "Wild Thing" from the Trogs. And now here is 30 Degrees covering "Wild Thing" from the CD, the '96 Basement Sessions. Wild Thing by 30 Degrees.
It certainly does sound like an indie production.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if they lost the plot a little bit in the middle of the song, because even though they were covering the Trogs,
Yeah.
they started getting really hooish at one point.
Yeah. Yeah.
in,
yeah.
in the middle of the song. Now, not being a musician myself, the drums, whoever was playing drums in that song,
Yes.
that guy had some amazing fill-ins.
Oh yes.
I don't want to say that he carried that song,
Mm-hmm.
but he certainly didn't sit in the back and just keep the beat like some other drummers.
No.
He had his own flourishes and everything that brought him
Exactly.
to the
Yes.
front.
Yes.
But you mentioned something about the guitars while we were listening to it that I did not pick up.
Yeah. There's actually probably this is the only thing is that there was no bass player.
Right.
There's 2 guitars and the drum, and it was just a bunch of jam sessions, and that's how it worked out. Where
Well, if anyone out there in the listenership was able to pick out 2 guitars, because I was never able to pick up 2.
right,
They played very well in sync.
right.
It sort of reminded me a little bit of what's the name of the band? Judas Priest. That's something that they actually pride themselves on quite a bit, in that they can have the 2 guitars that overdub each other in concert, and they can really stay tit for tat. Which they don't go off and solo and do all sorts of crazy stuff,
Right.
but to play it in that particular way every night with that precision also says something about the band.
Right.
And if that's what they were doing in that particular song, like I said, I wasn't able to pick it out.
Yeah.
Sounded pretty damn
They
good
had-
to me.
Yeah, the one guitar was like at a higher tone, and the other one was at a lower tone. So I guess it just kind of evened out the sound.
So any chance of you said this was from 1990?
This was 96.
96.
Yeah.
So any chance of these guys putting anything new out? Like, have they put anything new out
They
recently?
They haven't. This is pretty much a compilation from that summer.
Right.
And then just life took over. But who knows if they'll be back for another round.
Well, maybe this show can spurn them on.
Yeah. Oh man.
Any okay, it was 96, but any websites associated with this band?
No. There are no websites.
They don't have an official.
One. No, there was one, but
so they don't have a web presence at all as of this particular point in time.
if I find it,
right,
I will post it. But there was. I don't know. I don't know if it's still around though.
okay.
Because I guess time took over and.
Well, exactly. I mean, 1996. It wasn't that long ago, but it was long enough that if you didn't jump on, now it seems like everyone and their grandmother has a web page.
Yes.
But at that particular point in time, especially if this was something that maybe the band members, like you said, when life takes over, it takes over hard, right?
Mm-hmm,
So-
Yeah, exactly. Just you all go your separate ways, right? And
Well, I hope the members of the band don't leave us waiting for that long. I mean, I would certainly like to hear something that they came up with vocals and a proper rhythm section.
yeah,
Because it sounds like they certainly do have the chops to pull it off.
yeah, yep. I guess they would just have to find someone. They would have to
Yeah.
find a couple people to sit in with them, and I guess they had the 3 there. They had something in common. Like it was pretty good, and I guess it was just.
Were they all of the
got-
same musical, but like were they all 60s, 70s rock and roll
Yeah, I guess
type guys?
they all like the same music. I think they all picked up their gear at the same time.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It was like like they all got their instruments and around the same time, and they just started playing together. So it was it's kind of neat.
I think that brings us to the end of another show.
So soon.
Every time we sit down to tape, it's like the time goes quicker and quicker.
Yeah, yeah.
I have so much fun doing this.
Yes.
I mean, I'm sure there'll be a law against it soon. Well, but so we have, in addition to our emails at climaxradioshow.com, now
Yeah.
you've also got the Climax line to call.
Yes.
1-888-494-2263.
Mm-hmm.
Give us a shout. It's toll free anywhere in North America.
Great.
You can send us your thoughts on the show. You can send us songs you want us to source. You can let us know if you hate the show, if you love it. I mean, you call it. The best part is make an introduction to the song that you want to hear.
Yeah.
We'll put you right into the
Yeah.
show.
I was just gonna say we can play these guys right on the show.
Put them right in. The
Yeah.
technology's there.
Yeah.
Much
yeah.
like Bionic Man or something like that. We can build it and make it better.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Actually, the Bionic Woman they've come out with again.
Oh, the TV show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I don't think I'll be watching that.
I haven't.
Yeah. I don't know. Have you seen her?
I have seen her.
Yeah. I expected more
Oh.
from someone that's rebuilt.
Oh yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes, and they can rebuild. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't even have to be first run cybernetics. Like they can do a lot with plastic, right?
Exactly.
So.
Exactly.
Once
right.
again, Sir Magnum,
Always a pleasure.
another happy ending. Compliments of Climax Radio.
See you next time.
You've been listening to Climax Radio. Subscribe for free on iTunes and visit us on the web at climaxradioshow.com. Always a happy ending. Compliments of Climax Radio.